Hi everyone, in today's video I'm going to be talking about video games and schizophrenia. Hi and welcome back to the Living Well Schizophrenia channel. My name is Lauren and I make videos about what it's like to live with schizoaffective disorder or schizophrenia. And if you'd like to see more videos from us, make sure to subscribe and hit the bell notification so as not to miss anything. Also, if you would like to help support us in creating videos like this, please check out the link to our Patreon page in the description below. Once you become a patron, you also gain access to our private Discord server where we offer various types of peer support, including weekly peer support groups. So if that is something that interests you, or if you'd just like to help support us in creating these videos, please check out our Patreon page. Also, I just want to give a huge shout out to all of our current patrons. You are helping to make these videos possible. Thank you. All right, so video games and schizophrenia. What is the connection there? So, I did a quick search of the literature in terms of finding out if, playing video games has any impact on managing schizophrenia symptoms, or if it had, a negative impact or whatnot. And so I did a quick search and there wasn't a lot. There was a lot of speculation as to how video games could maybe help in terms of managing some of the symptoms of schizophrenia and even managing things like cognitive impairments. There's a lot of, stuff in the works about being done, studies being done about this, but there's nothing concrete as of yet. And so most of the stuff I'm going to be sharing in this video is more anecdotally based on my own experiences with playing video games and managing my schizophrenia. So, it's come up a lot in the comments and whatnot, and just from other people I know of in the schizophrenia community that they often play a lot of video games. And, I definitely do not identify myself as a gamer. And I'm a little embarrassed to share my experiences of gaming because I played video games like Mario Kart and Wii Sports and Crash Bandicoot. And I think those are like the three ones that I have any sort of, experience in. But, even silly games like this, I think that they really helped me through some difficult periods of my illness. When I was first grappling with, a lot of depression and psychosis symptoms kind of cropping up, I can't even tell you how many times I, resorted to playing these video games as a bit of an escape. And, I had one of those IKEA couches that, folds out into a bed, and I would just make this comfy little, lair, and I would just sit down and play video games for hours on end. And, I just wanted to kind of reflect in this video as to why maybe that was and why it felt good to do that. Or maybe not it felt good, but it felt like it made things more manageable. And so I think exploring that a little bit further, going into this fabricated world that a video game represents, I think is very appealing to people who don't always have the most solid footing in, this reality. And it provides, a way to kind of explore, a safe way to explore another reality and to be very deliberate about how you're engaging in that reality because, you have the controller and you have all the controls as to how you are in this world. And I think that that's maybe something that is lacking from a lot of people's real world experiences when you're living with schizophrenia. I think another thing that kind of drew me towards video games was just, that it's kind of a soothing thing, like it's a distraction. And so you are distracted from your symptoms and from whatever you're struggling with in the real world. And it provides this escape that you can kind of just go and be safe in. Now, there is some preliminary studies being done on the video games where there's some sort of physical activity involved. So whether that's like, I'm going to date myself, but like Dance Revolution or, Wii Sports where you're actually doing stuff, or there's like Ring Fit now, or I don't know the vast breadth of games like this, but there's preliminary studies being done on the connection with these games where you're moving your body and engaging in that way and managing, or addressing treatment for cognitive impairments that have to do with schizophrenia. Now, again, this is not, being studied, but there are some preliminary inklings that there is an impact on this. And so, I played a lot of Wii sports. I loved playing, like tennis and boxing and golf and all this kind of stuff. And it just felt really good to have that connection in my brain be very deliberate between what I was seeing and how I was moving my body and what I was thinking. And it just, I don't know, that just felt really good. And maybe it did have an impact on my cognitive abilities during that time. I was in school when I was relying heavily on these video games, and maybe it helped me be more cognitively functioning in school. Another kind of positive aspect about these more movement games is that it's engaging you in terms of doing some sort of physical activity, which is also, a good way to manage schizophrenia symptoms. Now, I've kind of gone over the benefits of these video games, but I think it's also important to weigh the opposite as well, where I have lost myself in, just immersing myself in these video game worlds, where I kind of, lose touch even further with the real reality. And so I think that that's kind of a fine line to tread in terms of if you are providing a brief bit of escapism to these alternate realities and, using it as a form to, like I was saying earlier, be deliberate about how you're engaging in a world. That's kind of, I feel that that's a little bit more therapeutic. But when it comes to the line of you are just using that as your only coping mechanism and, you are falling too deep into it and kind of losing touch with the external reality, I think that may be more of a problem and can maybe even compound schizophrenia symptoms. And so this kind of leads me into speculation about where video games are going. There's a lot of VR stuff, virtual reality stuff coming into play. And I think that that's really wonderful in terms of providing, that escapism or that, direct impact on the world that you can really decide on, like I was mentioning earlier. But again, this also creates, I think, more of an opportunity for this, disenfranchisement or broken connection from the real world, especially with how realistic graphics are becoming in these video games. And so, I just want to provide a word of caution that if, you struggle with schizophrenia and with losing touch with reality sometimes, just to be a little bit careful about how deep you're diving into these things and how much you're letting it, inform your concept of the world. I think there's also an interesting opportunity for video games to kind of provide a bit of education on the experience of psychosis and to maybe provide a bit more understanding for people who don't experience it, or for people who do experience it to better understand it. People are constantly asking me to review, I believe it's called Senua's Sacrifice, which is a video game where the main character in the video game has schizophrenia or experiences psychosis. And I haven't played it yet. I don't know what it's like, but I've been told by a lot of people that it does a really, really great job of depicting what psychosis may entail. And we were also sent I think it was like a VR documentary on, a video game virtual reality simulation of someone sharing their experience of living with schizophrenia. And I found it kind of mind-blowing and mind-expanding in terms of actually being able to immerse yourself in what someone else may be experiencing. So, I think that there is so much connection and, opportunity within video games to connect to the experience of schizophrenia, both in the terms of education and in terms of potential, therapeutic treatment for schizophrenia. And so if you guys have any other thoughts on, how video games play into living with schizophrenia or educating people about schizophrenia, I would love to hear about them in the comments below. Also, just a quick reminder that if you want to see more videos from us, make sure to subscribe. And if you would like to help support us in creating these videos, please check out the link to our Patreon page. Thank you so much again for watching. And as always, wishing you and your loved ones good health. We'll see you in the next video. Bye.